Good evening. My name is Vikas, and I am broadcasting this T4 TV live stream from London from my dining room as ever. And today I bring two friends of mine, Alex and Hala, to this live stream. I had the fortune of actually being called an OG earlier today by Alex because of the work that they do in MIT Solve. Is something that I've been very interested and supportive of over the many years. Alex, remind me, when did you start MIT Solve?
I joined MIT 4.5 years ago, and Solve started about 5 years ago before I joined.
Well, wonderful. So I've known you for that long, and we've been journeymen in this process, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you and your work, and of course, Hala. Hala is a sister from another mother, as you say, and someone who I've known for even longer. And so, what I wanted to focus this interview on was your organization and what you do, because I think it's quite wonderful. And so, I call this the future of social impact innovation. But firstly, if you could just give a background as to what is MIT Solve.
Sure. So hello, everybody, and thank you for having me, Vikas. So Solve is an initiative of MIT, located in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I'm in the Northeast, so you see the snow behind me, as we just had a big storm. But our mission is to drive innovation to solve world challenges. And that really aligns itself to MIT's mission, which is to serve the nation and the world in the 21st century and to bring knowledge to bear on the world's greatest challenges. And we do that, and we see ourselves as a marketplace for social impact and innovation. So on one side of that marketplace, we look to uncover, find, support, and fund innovators all around the world, no matter who they are, whether they're nonprofit, for-profit, teachers, students, individuals. And on the other side of the marketplace, corporations, foundations, impact investors, multilateral organizations, so that we make partnerships happen between those two sets of people, whether that's financial or non-financial partnerships.
I mean, so Hala, if you don't mind, I'll come to you with this question. What business does MIT, an engineering university, have in creating a social market innovation marketplace?
Thank you, Vikas, for the provocative question. And I think it's maybe instead of answering the what, it's answering the why. You know, we're facing today these big, hairy challenges. You know, how do we create? How do we help teachers, teach in a time where we're all facing a pandemic? How can we design urban environments that promote healthy living? We're going to be soon 8 billion people. So how do we do that in a way that is sustainable and provides for everyone in terms of food and everything? And these are the types of challenges that actually MIT, with its ethos of practical application and entrepreneurial spirit, has aimed to tackle since its founding. You know, it's sometimes we remind ourselves that in the past 150 years, whether it's the internet, GPS, the Apollo mission, so many technologies have actually come from and started at MIT. So maybe something behind the StreamYard that we're on right now can be traced back to the university as well. And so if you're asking, you know, how does MIT continue to tackle big challenges in the 21st century when we know, as Alex was saying, that, you know, no agent can tackle them alone, not one sector, and we're tapping in only the potential and the capability of very few people who may have access to university. So how do we actually, from, you know, we know ingenuity is equally distributed, how can we make sure opportunity is as well? And we can't we can't solve our big complex global problems if we're only looking at Silicon Valley and Kendall Square. We have to get out where innovators are, and we see them everywhere. You know, I can tell you about so many. Actually, maybe Alex wants to speak to some of our innovators that are all over the world who are tackling particularly education challenges.
And so, Alex, what is a social impact marketplace? Because you use that term quite generously on your website. So explain.
It's what I was hoping to explain at the beginning. But really, it's the vision that, you know, if you take, I'm sure you've spoken about the UN Sustainable Development Goals on your platform before. And if you take those goals, which are big goals set up down by the governments of this world, how are we going to achieve them? Even, we talk a lot about the financing gap, which is estimated at $2.5 trillion annually to achieve these goals. But what we're also not talking about is the innovation gap. Do we think even if all the governments of the world, all the corporations, all the philanthropies of the world poured money into this, we solve the challenges that refugees face, that people in rural settings face, that people with special needs and disabilities face? No, we need, or at least that's our belief and strong belief, we need more innovation, but we need the right type of innovation and done by the right type, by the innovators who are most proximate to the problems. And the problem is that but the big, and again, this is our vision and our belief, the big corporations, the big philanthropies, the big governments are not connected to the innovators that are on the front lines of these big challenges and are best positioned to solve them. And so how can we broker trust and transparency and open up the doors and do the hard work of essentially finding the most promising solutions and then connecting them to the people who have the resources, financial and non-financial, to really fund these and then get them to scale. And that's where this marketplace concept is. And at the moment, it's a fully virtual marketplace. Think of my team as matchmakers or brokers or investment bankers in connecting these two sets of people. But sometimes the marketplace is events, but that's not how big the event.
And so what are the current grand challenges you're solving for?
So, Hala, do you want to share a preview, although they're not launched, but a preview of...
Are we having an exclusive? Is this an exclusive?
I think it might
call it that, yes.
If we consider you media, then yes.
Absolutely. Everything is media. My mum sees this as media.
So to Vikas's mom, this is an absolute exclusive, and we'll be launching this challenge on March 1st. And our learning challenge for this year is going to be around equitable classrooms. So we're asking the question, how can all young learners have access to quality, safe, and equitable learning environments? And, after this pandemic and the trail of learning loss it leaves behind, or maybe if you want to use a more positive term, unfinished or interrupted learning, we see this as a real imperative. And we also see that these dramatic exogenous shocks don't happen very often, and they really are shaping our society. They're going to shape our society for generations. And we don't want this pandemic to have erased all of these hard-earned gap closing that we've been working on for so long, and we've mentioned the SDGs already. And so we want to see this proverbial opportunity in the crisis, and we want to kind of will innovation out of it and be of support of those who are doing this innovation in their own community. So we are in that challenge, we'll be looking at one of the dimensions also for your audience to support teachers with proven tools that will help them facilitate practical and experiential learning opportunities for their students, to communicate effectively with students, but also their families, and to tailor instructions to individual learner needs. So this is a call for all the innovators that are listening to this.
Wonderful.
Or anyone who wants to be a problem solver to check it out and apply to our challenge.
And if there's one thing that actually stood out for me as a result of the pandemic is how teachers and schools have absolutely led from the front when it comes to the innovation that we are seeing take place to ensure continuity of education, right? And schooling. So you are certainly on the right platform to talk about that. And I'm sure the teachers associated with T4 would value the opportunity later on when you do launch it to learn more. So I hope to have you back on there. I have a final question, and I think this is for Alex, which is, what is the role of technology in social innovation?
Oh, that's a big question, but happy to take a stab at it. I definitely think that technology is a necessary but never sufficient part of a solution, right? It's rarely, when we say we're looking for innovation, we're not saying we're looking for new technology, which is the silver bullet to answer all the problems in the world. Certainly not in the education space, but same is true across health, sustainability, all other spaces. It's really But I do think that since the beginning of what makes us human, right? Technology is what brings the creation of humans on technology is what drives progress, and sometimes positive, mostly positive, sometimes negative. And how we utilize technology, how we design it, how we make it affordable, how we build it in, how we build the right regulation, how we make sure it's accessible to the most underserved communities and designed with and for the most underserved communities is critical. And so I think that when we think about technology, we do have solutions, people who apply with AI, robots, drones, all the fancy modern stuff. But we also see ancestral technology, indigenous technology, many other forms of technology that really marry, the ones that were most interesting are the ones that really marry both innovation, but really towards the most underserved user.
Well, Alex, I want to say thank you for that perspective. And I do want to get you on the 1st of March, both of you back to talk about this challenge and actually tell teachers as to how they engage with you on this, right?
Yeah.
And I think this, I'd love to make that opportunity. You have given an exclusive today, which I'm very thankful to you for. And I look forward to future collaboration. That if there was a purpose to a live stream, it was to get the Massachusetts Institute of Technology to actually partner with us. So thank you so much. I look forward to our ongoing dialogue. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.